Being involved in video games these days, there is one universal horror: the price of a new release. If you can get past practically emptying your wallet, then you have to worry about the gamble of whether or not the game will be any good. You know where that's not a concern? With free games. I say leave the horror to the developers and give your wallet a break. With the following best free horror games, you can immerse yourself in a truly terrifying experience of various games without any concern for buyer's remorse. You can find links to all of these free horror games in the description, and while you're there, be sure to leave a comment on what scares you the most. We definitely won't sell your info to Freddy Krueger. But then again. Number 10, Friday the 13th, Killer Puzzle. It's not quite the setting you'd expect to find Jason Voorhees in, but everyone's favourite campground killer fits in fairly well in this horror puzzler. Friday the 13th Killer Puzzle captures the gory whimsy of the popular film series. Guide Voorhees across more than 100 puzzles spanning the serial killer's theatrical adventures. You'll play as various versions of the hulking fiend across memorable environments like the classic camp at Crystal Lake and the Grendel of Jason X. With a limited number of moves, it's up to you to get Voorhees to his next prey. It's quite the gruesome puzzler that remains faithful to the popular horror franchise, complete with unique kills that even Mrs. Voorhees can be proud of. Number 9. Ultimate Custom Night. Growing tired of playing through the same Five Nights at Freddy's games over and over? Wish you could really take control of the animatronics that stalk Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria? Ultimate Custom Night gives you that ability in the greatest mashup since Super Smash Bros. Well, for the horror community at least. Ultimate Custom Night features over 50 animatronics from the long-running series, and they're yours to place and customize as you wish. Build your own world of nightmares by assigning a difficulty and choosing which animatronics you want to go up against. In Ultimate Custom Night, you'll face every hazard and impediment featured throughout the series, including managing heaters, AC, power generators, and laser traps. As the name implies, it's the ultimate Five Nights at Freddy's experience, especially for those that have mastered all of the main games and are looking for an ample challenge. Number 8. Cry of Fear. Whether you tackle it alone or with friends, Cry of Fear is going to pull and violently tug on your nerves. In the dark of a cold Scandinavian night, Team Sidescroller sends you on a quest for survival. Monsters approach from the shadows as you maneuver through a deserted town, looking for answers behind the unstoppable nightmare. Play through the campaign to unlock different endings and score helpful unlockables that will send you back to Scandinavia for another evening of terror. Originally built as a Half-Life mod, Cry of Fear has evolved into its own full-length horror experience. Along with the challenging solo mode, there is a co-op campaign for up to 4 players and 12 custom campaigns that highlight the game's modding support. Number 7. Spooky's Jump Scare Mansion. Not every horror game has to leave you shivering in the corner. Sometimes it's nice to enjoy a playful game, so long as it's enjoyable. Spooky's Jump Scare Mansion may be vibrant and cartoonish, but it's a delightfully cute free horror game that gives you a break from the relentless scares of more serious titles. Well, temporarily at least. At its core, Spooky's Jump Scare Mansion is just as nerve-wracking as your favourite horror titles. It sets you up with a false sense of security that cardboard skeletons are all you'll have to fear, and then things take a turn for the worst when the real horrors of Spookies come to light. Lag Studios created a 2-tier horror game that sends you through classic horror settings, all on the run from the true monstrosities of Spooky's Jump Scare Mansion. Number 6. No More Room in Hell. It's one of the most iconic lines in zombie history. When there is no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth. Spoken by Ken Faree in both iterations of Dawn of the Dead, it's a fitting title for the zombie romp developed by the No More Room in Hell team. Crafted from Half-Life 2, No More Room in Hell throws players into an infected world where the undead reign supreme. Survival isn't just a matter of avoiding the extended arms of the shambling corpses. It's about working together in this zombified co-op experience. Wield a host of weapons, including a chainsaw, and fight through hordes of the undead. Unlike most zombie games, in No More Room in Hell, being bitten is a death sentence. As the virus courses through you, it's your choice whether or not to tell your teammates and accept your fate, or keep them in the dark and become a potential danger to them later. No More Room in Hell is completely free to play, making it a must play for any fan of zombies, teamwork and free things. There's even a sequel on the way and it looks quite delicious. Number 5. Imscared, a pixelated nightmare. Ivan Zanotti isn't a household name. At least, he wasn't. Not until he introduced Steam users to Imscared, a pixelated nightmare. Just as the name implies, Imscared is set in a pixelated world where unspeakable horrors await around every corner. Those horrors, though, aren't your usual gruesome monsters or brain-eating zombies. Like Eternal Darkness, Sanity's Requiem, they toy with your mind. What's scarier than a towering behemoth of a foe? How about a BSOD that makes you think your computer has crashed? That's just the start of how Imscared toys with its players. What's most impressive is that Ivan brought this free horror delight to life using only GameMaker 8, FL Studio and MS Paint. Sure, it's not flashy or that great to look at, but Imscared is a delightful game to add to your horror library. Number 4. Lurking. Turn up the volume, plug in your headphones, and get ready for a horror experience sure to stick with you. Lurking is a sound-based game that engulfs you in darkness and sends you exploring using audio pulses. Every pulse you generate illuminates the world in white outlines, giving you just a glimpse of your path. Complicating matters are villains of darkness that respond to every noise you make. As you explore the world of black, an asylum rampant with deadly escaped patients, you'll have to tread carefully, or you'll draw them closer to your position. Surviving requires patience and care to only make the noises necessary to progress. Lurking also converts sounds picked up by your microphone, so be sure to play in a quiet room to avoid alerting the things that stalk you in the dark. Number 3. Doki Doki Literature Club. Not all is as it seems in the Doki Doki Literature Club. Coerced to join by a friend, you try to make acquaintances with the other members, but something just doesn't seem right. Doki Doki Literature Club starts off as an innocent visual novel revolving around the titular club, but once its members start to show their true colours, things get incredibly weird. The horrors of Doki Doki range from subtle to eerie as the club and your relationships fall apart around you. Nothing is as it seems as the game starts to corrupt and you're left questioning what's part of the experience and what is your computer going haywire. Doki Doki Literature Club is a clever free horror game that will leave you feeling uncomfortable and creeped out, maybe even a little untrusting of those you're closest with. Number 2. Slender, the 8 Pages. Everyone's favourite creepypasta comes to life in Slender, the 8 Pages. It's a simple experience that's sure to send chills down your spine as you explore isolated woods and abandoned buildings in search of the titular 8 Pages. Hot on your tail is the towering and mysterious Slender Man. While you can run, it's impossible to hide from Slender as you collect more and more pages. Slender, the 8 Pages starts with a slow burn, but the more you collect, the more active Slender Man becomes. When your screen distorts and your speakers blare an unsettling noise, you know he's not far behind. Equipped with only a flashlight, can you collect all 8 pages before becoming part of Slender Man's collection? You'll want to play this one with the lights off and sound turned up to get the most out of the ambient noises and dim lighting. And yes, while we have all maybe had enough of Slender for one internet lifetime, there's no taking away from just how effective it is. And at number 1, SCP Containment Breach. You know the individual SCP files and recognise that they are nothing you want to come face to face with. Yet in SCP Containment Breach, you're trapped in the depths of the SCP Foundation's research facility in the midst of an outbreak. Around every corner lies something scary, something that's looking to slaughter, maim, devour, or infect you. Can you escape the facility without falling victim to the terrifying fiends once contained within? There are 2 versions of SCP and the most recent upgrades the visuals so you can see what's about to kill you in pants-destroying clarity. SCP-173, SCP-106 and SCP-096 are just a few of the cretins once secured within the Foundation's facility. If you can escape them, you may just make it topside alive. And there you have it, there is our list of the best free horror games. As ever, We want you to sound off in the comments down below. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Anything you would have put in that we missed out? Have you played any of these games? Let us know. We'd love to hear from you. And if you enjoyed the video, please consider hitting the like button, subscribing to the channel for more lists and videos and goodness like this, and make sure to hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. In addition to that, please do also consider, if you fancy, following us on the rest of the social medias on screen and checking out culturedvultures.com for regular new articles and lists and opinions on all those other things that people with hands type. Again, we hope you enjoyed the video, hope to catch you in the next one, but until then, caw-caw.